What's up everybody, I'm the Mangoose, you are awesome, and today we're going to be talking about lore in Overprime. If you've seen the Overprime cinematic intro, then you know that Souleve has taken it upon themselves to create a new world of lore for the Paragon heroes. In the trailer, you see Revenant fighting both Sevarog and Countess around some kind of glowing tree. Well, if you take a look at the Overprime website, they explain why those heroes in particular are at odds. Overprime have a short lore blurb for each hero, as well as their planet, region of origin, and faction affiliation. Is it the most imaginative lore out there? Hell no, but this is for a video game, not a Brandon Sanderson novel. I'm just happy that Souleve has taken the time to breathe a little life and history into the heroes. I've created a quick spreadsheet for today's video so we can go in depth on Overprime's world building and read the lore for each hero. The World of Overprime is broken down into 5 planets. Well, for now, I don't know if they plan to add any more or not. And then among these planets are broken down even further into various regions where the heroes come from. And then those regions are even broken down into factions in some instances, like the Shakadian Empire here. But these planets all have sort of unique characteristics, it seems. Itanis seems to be a very primitive planet. You've got Narbash, Rampage, Fengmao, and Grux. A very primitive planet, but they do have spiritual magic or just brute force that they can rely upon to fight. And it seems like it's going to kind of mirror Zeshan from Paragon. Then you've got Sitar. Now you've got Revenant, Sparrow, and Steel from Sitar, but Steel is actually from Itanis, which I don't know why they have him. I guess he's on Sitar right now, but he's actually from Itanis. But it seems like to be sort of the middle ground. Like it's a little more advanced than Itanis, but not as advanced as, say, Rutus here, which seems to be very technologically advanced. They've got Kalari, Muriel, Murdoch, Bellica, Twin Blast, all the more shooter sort of heroes, or you got Kalari and Muriel, who are both androids. And then Elkima just seems sort of a high fantasy world. You've got FaZe, Gideon, Kwang, and Shinbi. I know FaZe doesn't seem to fit in, but you got to remember that they're making their own lore for these heroes. And they've made FaZe out to be sort of like a superhuman superhero type person. I don't know, it's kind of weird. And then Nata is the evil world where the evil characters come from, Sevarog and Countess. Actually, Gideon's lore has a little bit of evil to it too, but we'll get into that. So let's go through these various worlds and read through the heroes' lore. So from Itanis, we got Kalima and the Kalima tribe, which is Narbash. The successor of Aralcum, Narbash, he is a support. The first son of Aralcum, held in high esteem as a Kalima sage. He is a powerful support who beats a large drum in battle to inspire his allies and heal them in moments of crisis. He may become the next chief due to his outstanding battle prowess and his love of his people. He intends to make known the third enemy following ancient prophecies. So he's trying to expose the third enemy. So as you can see here, it's not just lore. It also tells you a little bit about how they're going to play, so you can make a decision before you get into the game. Next up, we've got from Dacia with no affiliation, Rampage. The Liberated. Rampage, he is a tank, a renowned general of the Dacia tribe on the planet Itanis. He overpowers opponents with his huge beastly body and unexpected agility. He uses his fierce grip to throw rocks which can knock out enemies. We've all experienced that. He fights for Dacia's revival and independence, and for a world free of invasions. From the region of Huan, the Huan tribe, it's Fengmao. The Noble Balancer, Fengmao, he is a warrior, an elder of the ancient Huan tribe with blue skin, great intelligence, and incredible stamina. Using Kai, a weapon that only elders can possess, he slashes his enemies without mercy to influence the tide of battle. He made his escape during the invasion of the Shakadian Empire, but recently reappeared. His reappearance fuels the desire for independence in the hearts of the Itanis tribes. So apparently, Rutus and the Shakadian Empire have taken over Itanis, and these guys are fighting back. From Extasia, with no affiliation, we've got Grux. The great chieftain Grux, he is a warrior, the chieftain of the Extasia tribe that valiantly fights for honor. He strides over the battlefield with his enormous blunt weapons and quickly subdues any enemy he encounters. He is recognized as the greatest chieftain among the numerous tribes of Itanis for his wisdom and ferocity. Together with Rampage, he fights for the independence of his homeland. So Grux and Rampage are buddies. Now we have Sitar from the Kingdom of Sierra. With no affiliation, first we have Revenant, the swirling shadow Revenant. He is a ranger, a red-eyed shooter who deals devastating damage with his powerful gun. He lies in wait behind his allies until the perfect chance comes to fire with deadly accuracy. He was an ordinary human being who grew up in an orphanage, but his dealings with darkness robbed him of his body and turned him into a shadow. He fights to personally punish the forces of evil and regain his physical form. So this is why he was at odds with Countess and Severon. Next up, also from the Kingdom of Sierra, we have Sparrow, the Moonlit Hunter. She's a ranger, an archer, and support hero. I don't think Sparrow is a support. An archer and support hero who aims her sharp arrows at enemies' heads. She utilizes her nimble bow and quick movement to block and overpower enemies with deadly shots. She grew up in an orphanage after losing her family to a plague. A lot of orphanages in this Kingdom of Sierra. Then faced tragedy once more when she lost her friends as well. She fights for justice and to avenge her lost loved ones. I don't know what she's going to avenge if it was a plague that took her loved ones. Maybe Severog put the plague on him. I don't know. He put that plague on him. Then you've got Steel, whose birthplace is Athanas, but the Guardian of the Titans. He is a support, a powerful warrior of the Titans, a small tribe on the planet Athanas. He leads allies from the front with his strong physique and great strength, and he does not hesitate to offer support in emergencies. His skills were recognized when he rose to a high position in Shakad's Imperial Army. He has since fought to restore the Titan tribe's prosperity and lost status. So apparently that's why he's not living on Athanas right now, because he helped the Shakadian Empire take him over. Then from Rutas, from the Shakadian Empire, the Eadin faction, we've got Kalari, the Genesis of Dusk. She's an assassin, a cyborg assassin who corners countless enemies, making them cower in fear. She uses her daggers to leave critical wounds or stealthily digs behind the enemy to quickly overpower them. She is called the Optimized Cyborg for her outstanding attack power and quick judgment. She was previously an archbishop who guarded the sacred ground of Armonia on Athanas, but became a cyborg to fulfill her dream of achieving her motherland's independence. Okay, so she lives on Rutas, but it seems like she's fighting against the Shakadian Empire. They have her listed as being from the Shakadian Empire. I don't know if that's a mistake, or if I'm just interpreting this wrong. Interesting to think of Kalari as once being an archbishop. Now, Muriel, the created archangel. She's a support, a talented cyborg support who uses her divine power to protect her allies and save countless lives. Thanks to her actions, people call her the Battlefield Angel or Shining Goddess. She was a faithful priestess of Assign and protector of the sacred ground of Armonia, but she later chose to become a cyborg to be with her dear sister. So her and Kalari, sisters from the same mister, that seem to have chosen very different cyborg routes. And then from the Black Falcon Army faction, we've got Murdoch. That's funny, in the military you got Blue Falcons, which is like code word for a buddy fucker, and somebody like volunteers you for shit. The Outlaw of the Battlefield, he is a ranger, a member of the Shakadian Empire's Black Falcon Army. He is a quick shot with his gun Kelt, and excels in both strategy and technique. He is called the Outlaw of the Battlefield, or Loose Cannon. He was originally the second son and favored heir of the Empire's state-run defense company Grail Corporation, but chose the military due to his disillusionment with capitalism. I guess Murdoch's a communist. And then Lieutenant Bellica, the Falcon of Shakad. She's a caster, the only daughter of the aristocratic Farsine family of the Shakadian Empire, and an excellent soldier. In battle, she mainly uses grenades, guns, and drones to rain chaos upon the enemy from afar. She now commands the Empire's Black Falcon Army and fights alongside Murdoch to make the Empire's greatness known across the galaxy. It is said she came to the battlefield to look for her old comrade, Harold. Who is this Harold, you say? Well, let's get over to Twin Blast lore. So he's not affiliated with anybody, but he is from the Shakadian Empire. The Unwelcomed. He's a ranger, a bounty hunter who suddenly appeared some time ago and made the world take notice. He stealthily disorients the enemy from a distance with 2 pistols. He ain't got silencers on there. I don't know how he's doing that stealthily. His weapons and combat style are known to resemble those of Harold, the Reaper of Shakad, who disappeared several years ago, but it's unclear whether Twin Blast and Harold are the same person. So maybe Bellica's looking for him, maybe not. Let's move on to Alquima, the Estados Unidos de Cortia. Let me know in the comments how bad I fucked that up. Affiliated with Flares, it's FaZe, the superhero. She is a caster, a cute girl born with a superpower. That's it. That's all they need to say right there. Just cut it right there. Cute girl born with a superpower. Next. She used to only use her power to drive out local thieves. After an awakening, she joined a superhuman organization called Flares. She uses telekinesis to block the enemy's vision and distract them. She is always a reliable support hero for allies on the battlefield. She's not really a support in Overprime. I mean, they got her listed here as a caster. She kind of is a mid laner. Anyway, she believes she is the greatest and is confident she will become the superhero who saves humanity. Next up, from the Ompalacian Empire, from the Department of Ancient Magic, we got Gideon, the Truth Seeker. He is a caster, a scholar and caster who studied ancient magic in the Varon Desert. He employs powerful attack magic using instruments such as circles and globes. In his quest for truth, he began to show a psychopathic greed. He broke away from a typical academic path to disseminate his own truth and fights to declare himself the absolute ruler of humanity. All right, Gideon, reel it back in a little bit, buddy. And then from the Kingdom of Rin, with no affiliation, you got Kwang, the True Heir. A warrior who wields the celestial blade and mercilessly cuts down enemies. He leads from the front line with his heavy sword in one hand. Formerly the third prince of the Kingdom of Rin on the planet Alquima, he lost his entire family in the Rebellion of Houses. He fights to return the world to its rightful order. And then in Paragon, Shibby was his sister, but I don't think that is so anymore. The Heavenly Agent. She is a caster, heir to the House of Ryong, one of the 12 powerful families of the Kingdom of Rin, and the only blade dancer in the Empire. She attacks enemies in various ways using her Phantom Wolves and Shaman Sword. She moves swiftly to corner and taunt enemies. Since the loss of her mother in the Rebellion of Houses, she has been working together with her childhood friend, Kwang. So they're just childhood friends in this scenario. And also, I like how they kind of explained why she's like dancing around and like rhythm based and stuff. It's because she's a blade dancer. Not a K-pop idol. She's a blade dancer. And finally, the evil planet Nata. Unknown region, and they are both of the Archon affiliation. We've got Sevarog, the Empty Darkness. He's a tank, a vassal of Mateth, and a being of the void hidden in the dark corners of the Dakima galaxy. He uses his frightening skills to steal the lives of others and bring chaos to his enemies. Because of these unique skills, he is called the Creature of Darkness on the battlefield. He plans to gather all the dark energy scattered throughout the galaxy to revive Mateth. It would be cool if, because they have created their own characters, it would be cool if Mateth ends up being like a hero in Overprime. And last but not least, we got Countess. A little bit of Countess. The Hidden Breath. She is an assassin. From a young age, she's been trained to kill. This dual-wielding assassin moves through the shadows to quickly end enemies. Due to her bloody combat style, she is called the Crimson Assassin or the Assassin of the Dark. In the past, she worked for a criminal organization, but now she assists Sevarog in reviving Mateth. So, Countess Sevarog working together just like we saw in that trailer. And god damn, look at Countess, man. So that's it for all of the heroes that we've seen. I'm sure, like, we've seen Wraith. I'm sure Wraith is going to be probably Rutus, the Circadian Empire. Whether he's going to be Black Falcon Armory or Eodin, I wouldn't know. If we go by Paragon lore, he would be with Kalari, because him and Kalari went to the same training or what have you. But maybe they'll just stick him in the Black Falcon Army. But it seems pretty obvious that somebody like Wraith would be from Rutus, whereas somebody like the Fae or Morgash would be from Etanus. But I think it's pretty cool that they're setting up this entire world. I really like that they're actually doing some lore. I'm interested to see where Adele might fit in. We don't really know much about her. From her appearance, though, she aesthetically looks a bit like FaZe to me. I mean, she doesn't look like FaZe, but she looks of the same style. So maybe she'll also be a super-powered human and a member of Flares. We'll find out eventually. And that's all I have today for lore. Keep an eye on overprime.netmarble.com for any future updates or additions. I know most people don't care about game lore, but I appreciate that Souleve has taken the time to create something for those of us that do care. Like the video if you enjoyed it, sub for more third-person MOBA content, but for now, this is the Mangoose signing off. You guys, have a good one. Mangoose! Special shout out to channel members I Bloodhunter, Jelly Knees, Meow Mix for Men, Blastoise King, Raven, and Clorox TV.